spotlight turned into a fiasco. Sophie Cunningham, wearing a leg brace, simply stood mid-court for her teammate, and a league security guard barked at her like she was storming the floor.
The league's attempt to control the narrative backfired spectacularly. But here's where the WNBA may have made its biggest mistake. They underestimated Caitlin Clark's.
What if I told you that every time you settle in for a WNBA game, you might be watching more than a basketball game? You might be witnessing the very integrity of the league being tested from the stands? The latest season has exposed cracks, from hateful taunts to bizarre objects flying onto the court. These aren't isolated flukes, they're warning signs. Because when fans cross certain lines, it does more than disrupt the moment. It threatens trust, safety, and what the sport is supposed to stand for. Today, we dive into WNBA security fail, how fan behavior is threatening the game integrity. Let's get into it. What's going wrong? A snapshot of recent incidents. The WNBA has, in recent months, witnessed several alarming events that go beyond innocent cheering. These are things that compromise player safety, fair play, and respect, all core to integrity. 1. Hateful/racist fan comments. In a game between Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky, during the 2025 season opener, allegations rose that hateful fan comments were directed at Angel Reese, particularly after a foul incident with Caitlin Clark. The WNBA reinforced its no space for hate policy, stating that fans' behavior of racism, discrimination, and hate must have no place in the league. 2. Objects thrown onto the court. Perhaps the wildest thread. A sex toy was thrown onto the court multiple times in different arenas: Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, Phoenix. One of those times, the object hit a 12-year-old girl. The WNBA responded: immediate ejection, at least a 1-year ban for offenders, possible arrest and prosecution. 3. Mockery/disrespect/poor sportsmanship from audience. During a Mercury versus Mystics matchup, Phoenix's Kalia Copper had her wig fall off in play. A fan mocked her over it. Security had to intervene, and the fan was ejected. Sight and sound, fans booing, verbal abuse, even slurs, discriminatory remarks. It's not just loud, it's personal. Players report hearing racial insults. Why this matters, how these behaviors undermine integrity. These acts aren't just embarrassing, they undercut the very foundation of what makes professional sports meaningful. Let me break down the consequences. A. Player safety and mental well-being. Objects thrown onto the court are physical hazards. They risk injury, not just to the intended target, but to bystanders, referees, staff. Verbal abuse, particularly hate speech, can deeply affect mental health. When players fear what might fly at them or what's being shouted as they shoot free throws, that's not just distraction, it's harm. B. Distraction and disruption of the game flow. When a game is halted because someone threw something absurd, or the crowd gets dangerously rowdy, it breaks momentum. It affects performance. The player's rhythm is interrupted. The flow of competition suffers. Calls from officials can get lost in chaos. Players must refocus repeatedly. It's not fair if some get impacted more than others. C. Damage to league reputation and fan experience. The WNBA is growing. More visibility equals more responsibility. These incidents broadcast a narrative. Maybe this is a league where fans can act without consequence. Longtime fans, many who've watched quietly from the edges, express that something's changed, that the respect, inclusivity, sense of shared support is being eroded. Sponsors, partners, families, young fans all look to see if this is a league worthy of their support. Incidents like these can push them away. D. Inequality and double standards. Much of this ties into race, gender, identity. Players like Angel Reese report facing different fan reactions than others might in similar situations. There's a double standard in what's tolerated. That all feeds distrust. If players or fans feel the system protects some identities over others, that's a serious integrity gap. What's causing the shift? The root problems. To fix things, we need to understand what got us here. 1. Explosive growth and popularity. With stars like Caitlin Clark entering the WNBA, unprecedented media attention, record attendance, suddenly there are far more eyes, many new fans. Some know deeply about the sport, others might be here just for hype. More fans equals more risk of outsiders, bringing bad behaviors or attitudes not aligned with the league's culture. 2. Unclear consequences, weak enforcement. Yes, rules exist: ejection, bans, legal penalties. But sometimes enforcement is slow or inconsistent. If fans see that bad behavior often has no real cost, they'll push limits. Mortification incidents, like sex toys thrown, are getting headlines, but only with visible outcomes. Arrest? Ban? Does it feel real? 3. Toxic fandom and social media. Spillover. Online hate or sensationalism fuels in-arena behavior. Social media amplifies rivalries, feeds tribalism. What starts as a viral clip or meme can provoke someone in the stands to act out. Articles and commentary note a rising trend. Fans who may not have previously attended WNBA games, drawn in by stars, but carrying over aggressive behaviors from men's sports or internet culture. 4. Demographic and cultural shifts. Ticket prices rising, more mainstream/celebrity audience. The original fan base fears being priced out or culturally displaced. Different expectations of what sports culture includes. Some newer fans expect louder, more confrontational cheering, more entertainment-driven, but may test boundaries of respect. What must change? Solutions for integrity. If the WNBA is going to hold its integrity, protect its players, and grow in a way that respects what got it here, changes need to be concrete and proactive. Here are stronger steps. 1. Stronger, uniform enforcement across the league. Zero tolerance enforcement. Every arena, every game, every incident gets addressed consistently. No this site versus that site disparity. Transparency. After incidents, make public what consequences occurred, who was banned, for how long, what charges filed. Public visibility fosters accountability. 2. Improve security protocols and preventive measures. Bag searches, entering security, stricter oversight of what gets into stands, especially with smaller, throwable objects. Increased staffing of security in critical sections close to the court. Better camera monitoring to catch incidents quickly. Training for arena staff to spot bad behavior early and to intervene before escalation. 3. Fan education and culture campaigns. Pre-game announcements, signage, social media campaigns reminding fans of the code of conduct, respect, inclusivity. Highlighting stories of how bad conduct hurts players, not just it's disrespectful, but this impacts their safety, their mental health, their ability to play. Creating a culture of fan responsibility, encouraging spectators to speak up, report, or discourage out-of-line behavior themselves. 4. Greater player support systems. Support for players dealing with verbal abuse and harassment, counseling, protection protocols, clear lanes to report abuse. Prompt security responses in games if players feel unsafe. Bench staff, referees, league officials all having clear authority to pause games if needed. 5. Engaging the fan base directly, involving longtime fans, community leaders, and local advocates in dialogues on what fan behavior should look like. Rewarding positive fan behavior with recognition, incentives, maybe loyalty perks. Emphasizing that respectful fans make the best crowd. Here's the deal. The WNBA is at a crossroads. Fan energy and passion have helped push the league into a new era. But if that energy becomes fear, toxicity, or disrespect, it will erode everything that makes the WNBA special. Every incident, every thrown object, every racist scream, every mocking hiss is a test. If you care about this league, if you believe in fairness, respect, and the power of sport to uplift, then this is not a player problem, not a league problem, but our problem together. Subscribe now if you want to stay in the loop on what's happening behind the scenes, because real change only happens when fans, players, and institutions all demand it. Share this video so that more people hear the stories, and so the WNBA's integrity isn't just protected, it's celebrated.